What's up, everybody? Was the Great Pyramid actually a power plant? Let's find out. Starting in the subterranean chamber, which may have actually been a hydraulic pump based upon its obvious design, water erosion on the floor, cavitation in the ceiling, both of which are evidence of a powerful compression wave, and the fact that the theory was both tested and proven by engineers. Next, we have the Queen's Chamber, where traces of zinc, found in the north shaft, and hydrochloric acid, found in the south shaft, were discovered. Mix these two chemicals together and you get a sexy little byproduct called hydrogen. Now this is where things start to get interesting, because the vibration taking place in the subterranean chamber and the chemical reaction taking place in the Queen's Chamber causes the quartz crystal embedded within the red granite, which is f***ing everywhere, to react, producing a gnarly effect known as piezoelectricity, which theoretically could be wirelessly transmitted to other pyramidions made up of the same material, explaining not only the numerous depictions of light bulbs and other weird shit we see scattered throughout the land of ancient Egypt, but why archaeologists discovered a thick layer of salt covering the walls of the Queen's Chamber and why gypsum was found leaking from its cracks, as both are byproducts of hydrogen mixing with limestone.
Incredibly, the block actually starts shaking with long and then short pulses. If you scaled up this experiment to the full size of the pyramid, the system would have created a heartbeat-like vibration that shook the entire structure.
Now, I understand for many this is a shitballs crazy theory that makes absolutely no f***ing sense, and, well, I mean, that's a valid reaction. That being said, the evidence we have for the power plant theory far surpasses the evidence we have for the whole tomb for a pharaoh theory because, well, I mean, there really is no evidence to support that theory. Case in point, the theory itself was proposed nearly 200 years ago, and as of this moment, still a f***ing theory. And a really shitty one at that, because right off the bat, across the board, this is what an ancient Egyptian tomb looks like for a pharaoh. Massive underground mausoleums, wall-to-wall artwork, a skillfully crafted sarcophagus, and most importantly, the ancient prayers that were absolutely essential for the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. Now let's look at the Great Pyramid.
This case is empty.
What do you mean, empty?
Empty. The opposite of full.
No mausoleum, no artwork, no sarcophagus, not a single f***ing prayer or even a mention to the guy who's supposedly buried here, and it's not underground, making it the one and only tomb that's nothing like a tomb, and this includes the tomb that was built before it, the Step Pyramid. Also pillaged by tomb raiders, yet we still see the sarcophagus clear as day. It's far underground just like the rest, and son of a bitch, there's even a mausoleum with actual writing and artwork on it. In fact, the only evidence we do have to support the whole Khufu claim comes from this Greek bastard, Diodorus, who heard it from that Greek bastard, Herodotus, and this completely obscure worker's graffiti that was only discovered after blasting through 5 stone slabs above the king's chamber. But both of the ancient accounts were written over 2,000 years after the fact. Herodotus, who was also known as the father of lies, placed the construction date over 200 years after Khufu was pharaoh, and the worker's graffiti discovered in 1837 has long been suspected to be a forgery, faked by Richard Howard Weiss, who after 2 years and $1.2 million, $32 million today, of the British government's money had nothing to show for his expedition, until that fortunate moment right at the end when he discovered the graffiti, which many claim he faked. His own assistant called it bullshit. His handwritten journals show conflicting details, and the dating of the paint yielding conflicting results due to the unusual mixture of pigments. And as far as the construction theory goes, that one is also close to 200 years old, has yet to be proven, and just like the tomb theory, is a really shitty guess, because working our way from the outside in, the Great Pyramid was encased by 144,000 highly polished, perfectly cut limestone blocks, each one placed together to within 1/100th of an inch to the next, and each one polished to within 0.05 accuracy of the slope. This all covers 2.3 million limestone blocks with an average weight of 2.5 tons each, and 8,000 tons of red granite stone ranging between 50 to 80 tons each that was cut and placed with such accuracy a f***ing credit card can't get through. This all sits atop an unused, unfinished subterranean chamber that was topped, the Pyramidion, which has been missing since before 60 BC and is said to have been either solid gold or gilded electrum.
Is that it?
No, there's more. You see?
The accuracy of the Great Pyramid is arguably its most impressive feature, because the land it sits on was leveled to within 7/8 of an inch, the base is nearly a perfect square off by only 0.01%, holy shit, and it's aligned to within 3/60ths of a degree to true north, making it, to this very day, the most accurate structure on this entire shit-ass planet, and we're told the ancient Egyptians did all of this, without the wheel or pulley system and nothing more than wood rope ramps, copper chisels, thousands of men, and
The sheer fucking will.
Get the fuck out of here. Because, look, I'm all for the ingenuity of humans, a can-do attitude, and that whole we don't give them enough credit for the shit they did, but I mean, come on. Some shit just ain't possible. Case in point, it takes 10 men to pull a 1-ton stone block. Factor in the incline of the ramp and it's more like 15, let's call it 13. This big bastard weighs 80 tons, which means we would need over 1,000 grown-ass men to pull this single block, right? Right. Okay, quick question. How you fitting that many men on a single side of the pyramid with enough room to adequately pull this big bastard? And follow up, how you getting around those corners?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
And this is just the problem of how they placed the stone. Never mind the fact that we still have no f***ing clue of how they cut it, because at the time the Great Pyramid was constructed, copper was the strongest metal the ancient Egyptians possessed, which ranks about a 3 on the Mohs hardness scale. Limestone ranks about a 4. Throw in some water and crystallized sand, definitely doable. You know, the cutting in half part at least. But that ain't the case when it comes to the red granite, because that son of a bitch has quartz crystal embedded within, coming in at about a 7.5. And no matter how much water or crystallized sand you add, copper ain't doing this to red granite. And the only thing that we know of today that can is this.
It's not a problem that's been totally solved. I've given my suggestions, I've tried to base them in the landscape. You know, a lot of it is still inference.
All of that being said, was the Great Pyramid actually a power plant? Who fucking knows? All I do know is that this big bastard in no way, shape, or form is a tomb, and if the ancient Egyptians did build it, they did it with an advanced technology that was somehow lost to time. Otherwise, that shit was here long before they were. But hey, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. What do you think?